cosplay is just, you're in a costume and you're playing around. Like, that's basically where it came from. And then, like, to me, it just is like, I can hang out with all of my friends and we can just be our favorite little guys and just have fun. Like, that's what it kind of means to me.
It was just this memory that we all have collectively. And then I had this costume from it left over. And a year goes by and I have made some other new friends in that group. And they're like, if you wanna go to con, you should wear that. You're coming and you're wearing that. And done.
Because we're just like-minded people trying to find a connection with others and maybe get our social interaction out for the year and then go back and be a hermit for the rest of the year, you know?
Sometimes you just have to go to con and you have to go find your people.
Hi, I'm Amani Cosplay. I am gender bending the Crystal Exarch from Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. I knew I wanted to do this cosplay since November, and I took a break just to get my mind together. Then in January, I was like, all right, time to start crafting. So I've been crafting this since January. Now that I'm down to the wire, I've been doing at least an hour every day, 8 hours or more on the weekend, on Saturday, and 8 hours or more on Sunday until I'm satisfied. Just trying to figure out how you want to approach it. It's like a puzzle, you know? A puzzle, you pick apart the character, and then you figure out what you want to make, buy the stuff, and then piece it together. And then it's beautiful.
Hi, I'm Eddie. So it is Grian from a Minecraft SMP, so survival multiplayer from 5 years ago. Everybody kind of headcanons him as like this like angel like watcher guy. So that's what I'm making, is my own interpretation of that.
Hey, my name's Ashley. I go by Sartorial Jutsu Cosplay. I am doing an Emma Watson's version of Belle for Beauty and the Beast. And I am an 80s kid, so my uncles had to hide the VHS of Beauty and the Beast growing up because they could only watch it so many times a day. I was homeschooled, so that's the background information context, is bookworm, stuck at home in a small rural Illinois dirt town farmland, and you're the weird person. I think we can all like relate to that. And she didn't want it, and she left, and she was frightened, and she did it anyway. And then it worked out. And it was better than anything she would have ever imagined for herself, right? I like to see that in a lot of our community. We're all bookish, we're all nerds, and there's always something in our past that's haunting or just annoying as shit to know that is there. And there's always something better that we don't know what's coming. And it's okay to just put on your comfortable boots and march out and go foraging and meet some people, or just have a good time and be comfortable, and what will come, and we'll figure it out, and it's gonna be fine. I have been cosplaying since Halloween of 2011. My first competition was Dragon Con of all places. We were wearing Sango and Roku from Inuyasha talking to people, and they said, you know, they just opened a new animation competition, an anime one, and it's the first year, and the sign-ups are down the hall. Would you walk over there with me? Because they were wearing something from Naruto, I think, that was really cool. And what year was that? Wow, 2015 maybe?
I've been competing 7 years. I started in the hallway cosplay contest, not really knowing what I was doing. I was just like, I made this, I'm gonna try it. And it was an interesting experience. I was just like, I got a lot to learn. And so I learned and grew from there. And the following year, I think it's on here, Oh no, yeah, so sorry. I think I've been competing since 2016. 2017 was when I competed again after learning so much and won my first Best in Show at the Hallway Cosplay Contest. And then I was just like, wait, this is awesome. So
Only a year. Coming up on Detour again. It was like I can actually grow and make very unique stuff that I wouldn't have with like anything else. So kind of got me back into cosplaying and actually like taking it more seriously again. Yeah. Novice is like you are new to cosplaying and like making your own stuff.
Typically is expected to be, you've never competed before. You do not make costumes for a living, and you do not sell any of your work yet.
It varies. They want you to make at least 75 to 90% of or 100% of your cosplay.
Journeyman is, you're a little bit better on the like costume side. You've won like awards in Novice before.
1 to 2 awards under your belt in Novice, jumping up to Journeyman. You're not going to find as much competition in numbers, but the quality will then be there. But you don't know who's going to show up. And that's like the number one rule, is that you don't know who's going to show up when it comes to Journeyman Masters levels.
Masters is you've won awards multiple times in like Journeyman, and you've like been doing it for a very long time. They're crazy and so cool to look at backstage.
Journeyman and Masters is very much who showed up. And at that point, you should be crafting and making at a level that it doesn't matter who shows up, because you brought something that you are happy with, that is easy to wear, that you love, that you made because you love it. And it doesn't matter then it doesn't win, because you get to wear this cool thing, and maybe you'll make friends in this cool thing. And at that point, you're there to make friends. So Master's level is very different compared to the nervous novices who are sitting there like, oh my God, I want to win. And the rest of us are over here like, hey, where are you from? How did you make that? That's really cool. Good job. Do you want to come over? You know, it's very different. It sounds like there should be more competition as you get higher, and it just turns into a bunch of people, hopefully if it's done right, just making friends. And now you have someone to play cards with later. So while we're sewing, chit-chatting, if it's done right. So I can tell you that judging is like, you have 5 minutes. Tell me everything about this thing and why you like it. And then they might ask you a few follow-up questions based on what you said or what you brought. And if they ask you questions about it, usually either they don't know and they're trying to get more information, or they do know and they're trying to see if you know.
when you're getting ready to present your costume to the judges, I do recommend a build book. So it just shows your progress, because you get such a short time in front of the judges, you can't always explain everything. So a build book would help give them an idea of how you approached your crafting.
It's a little document of your process. You have like the references that you used, that's very important. Anything that you take inspiration from. All the materials and stuff that you use, especially if you've bought or commissioned somebody, you want to make sure to credit them for it. I personally put all the fabrics that I used to see up close, and then progress pictures upon progress pictures of showing I did make all this and this is all my work. And yeah, and then final detail shots as well. And anything that you learned along the way is important to put in there to show progress and improvement. It's a lot of mental preparing, I guess I should say, because you have to be prepared to be judged and take constructive criticism. You have to be able to accept it and be confident in your work and be able to present that to the judges, because that's what they seeing, is that you're confident in what you're presenting.
Pick something that you really like. Pick your favorite character, because then you're going to be happy with it no matter what. And you're gonna be anxious and you're gonna be nervous, and that's expected. So if you're expecting it, then that's what will happen, and yeah, that's what you're expecting. But once the nervousness has died down and you've brought snacks and you've brought water and you've brought comfy slippers and you have all of like the necessities from home in the green room while you're panicking, you can eat a bite of chocolate, bring it all. Go make a friend. Like, look outside of yourself for a minute in your panic and look at the person next to you also panicking. Share your chocolate and ask them how they're doing and ask them how they made that and ask them why they like that character. And then all of this will go away because you're too excited about what they're telling you. And that was the whole point. Like, that's why you're in that chair in the green room. Learn something from the people around you.
By the end of like the weekend, you'll be like, I want to keep doing this because it was fun. I'm so excited to like, because what I'm cosplaying from, there's not a lot of like cosplayers from it around here, so it's a very like niche thing, and like I'm just excited to like have the one person be like, I know what you're from, and I'll be like, yes, that is it, that's all I wanted, I can go home, that's it.
I love meeting other competitors to see what their builds are like and how they like to craft and connect with them and follow their Instagrams and stuff like that. And
in the past, past detours, the thing I've struggled with the most is childcare. And so previous years, I've had to stop showing with my husband because someone has to watch the kid. And this year, I'm gonna have her on stage with me, which is terrifying because she's never, it's kind of late-ish at night, but I know that she's a late kid now, so it's fine. But she's gonna be bouncing off the walls. She loves con. She's been going to con since she was 6 months old. She's a con kid. She's so excited for hotel party. That's what she calls it. Hotel, when's the next hotel party? She loves dressing up in costumes. Her favorite Spider-Gwen. So the first issue is getting her into the costume I want her to be in on the day she needs to be in it, and not take off her clothes and want to wear Spider-Gwen. I'm gonna have to hide Spider-Gwen or make her wear it all Friday so that she doesn't want to wear it on Saturday, and then pack a gazillion snacks. But we have a pretty good system set out because we have like a extended way and we shut everything in. And then now we have like a Japanese folding seat that goes in it, and she has her iPad and we're set. But you never know because she's 4. You never know.
Friday night, I was just like, okay, convention contest is tomorrow. This is happening. I go through this every time, same nerves, and I, for some reason, never get used to it. You think I would, but I don't. Saturday, I'm just like half dead, wishing I had coffee while listening to the rules and how we're lining up, making sure we're all present. And then I'm just like, okay, I'm going back to sleep for like an hour because then I can start getting dressed.
In like the orientation, I'm like sitting there like shaking the whole time because I'm like so like, it's like nerves and excitement.
My version of the events is very different than my husband's version of the events because I am in panic mode and he's in like handling watcher mode. So our versions are very different. My version is that I went up, started talking, handed them my workbook, and talked the whole time. His version is that I was an anxious mess, didn't talk about hardly anything, and just handed them the book, and then quit talking too soon, and then let them ask questions. So according to Lucas, who has been in most of my judging sessions, sometimes with me, sometimes just handling, he's like, that was the worst judging session I've ever seen you do. You talked about nothing. And I was like, I thought I talked about it. He's like, you can't just say, I wove this. What does that mean to them? What does that mean? Like, you didn't go through any of the steps. You just said, I wove this. I was like, yeah, I wove this.
Going down to judging, right before going in, realized I forgot multiple pieces of my costume that were like the most important details. Whoops. It is what it is. I got them on for the walk-on, so like I got them eventually, but oops. I mentioned that I made them, but not much you can do about that. Like, there's a photo of it. There's somewhere. Don't worry about it. So I made like a list for myself of like things to go through, and I was like immediately I was like, hi, I get off track a lot, but so I made a list to go through the important things. Started going into the list, and then they cut me off asking questions, and I was like, cool, I'm lost, and I could not recover. And that was like a minute in or something.
Well, judging time, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm so nervous, but I'm excited. And then my judging time was just like, phew. I was like, where'd it go? I barely got to say anything. I was just like, it went so fast. And like sometimes I was like, should I have timed it myself? What if it was like 2 seconds too short or something silly like that? But I'm sure it wasn't. My judging could have been better. My explanation, I should say, to the judges could have been way better. I focused on things that were probably a little minor. Like, for example, I didn't have time to explain how my hood piece was made, and that was one of my more best pieces, especially with how I was able to get it attached with super glue. And I didn't get time to explain that. I was like, oh, I failed to explain one of my best pieces. So I learned from that.
Emotional state was, please don't fuck up, please don't fuck up, please don't fuck up, because I know what I can do, but I don't know what she's gonna do. Because I know that it's gonna be televised, and I know that there's gonna be video of it, and I know that if this is a disaster, I'm gonna get to watch that disaster over and over and over again. They call us up, put the iPad down, head out there, go up all the ramps in the dark.
Entry number 1 in the master class.
So we get up to the front,
This is what you get.
and sometimes she goes, but I don't want to dance. I'm like, we're not gonna dance. We're gonna read a book. Like, please let this go well.
I wove a thing again on my loom. I hope you like it. I also brought this kid with me this time. I made her too. Do I get points for that? No? Well, it's her first time on stage. So do me a favor and yell for Evie and encourage her to come out here so that this skit happens. If she bolts, well, at least we will all know we tried. And she heard you call her name.
And even though you've like practiced it and planned it months in advance, it goes by on stage that quickly.
To the children. Send the book to the children. All right, what letter is this?
And she waited, and the music played, and she went out with me, and she did the twirly thing, and she sat in the chair with me, and she read the book with me. And I think at some point she even had her words down with the audio, which I hadn't even considered trying to fix, because getting on stage was like the success. Her being able to say the characters' names as we're pointing through the book on cue with the audio we had recorded was just a bonus. It was adorable.
Cyndaquil, Chimchar, and Charmander are all cute fire-type Pokemon.
When you're on stage and the lights are in your face and you can't see the crowd and you don't even know where to look because it's just right in your face. And I didn't know how she would do with the lights. And the stage is always smaller in that moment than in rehearsal, or like thinking about it in your head. In rehearsal, the lights are all on and you can see everything and it feels so big. But then when the lights are off and it's just the stage lights, like spot on the front, it feels claustrophobic. And like if you turn wrong, you could bump into someone or fall off stage.
Like Pikachu. Ready? Off to bed, off to bed. Right, Daddy? No. All right, say goodnight to everybody. Okay, say goodnight to everybody. Good night, everybody. All right, go for bed. Good night.
It was great. And then she went off stage and she ran to her dad and they went off to the pool.
Oh.
Success. Awesome. Sweet. Thank you. Thank you, cosplay gods. Oh my god.
Cool time? Was that fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see all the people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did so good. You did great.
All right.
May there be many more years of this with better skits and cute costumes.
And then after that, I was done. So then all the stress went away. Mom's stress went away. I don't have a kid with me anymore, so I don't have to like vigilante watch them. And then I just got to meet people. It was great.
Going in the green room, I felt nothing. I was just excitement and then like nothing. But because all the escalators and like the stairs were out, I had to go like the escalators and elevators. Because those were both out, I had to do a lot of stairs, which threw out both my knees. So I had to change the whole under and shoe thing for my costume as well because I couldn't. I had knee braces underneath. I won't lie, I don't think on stage. Like, absolutely no thoughts. I know it was fun and I was just thinking, don't fall. Like, if I fall, I fall, but like, don't do it.
Entry number 13 in the Journeyman class. The Watchers have been watching you for a very long time. Very long time, you evolutionists. It is time for you to move on to the next chapter, Jellyfishy.
When I was walking on stage, I did a spin, obviously, because that's what you do when you're on stage. You spin. You can kind of tell I almost fell because of my knee giving out, but I hit it through a smile.
That was so fun. I'm so excited.
When it was go time, I was just like, oh gosh, listen to the crowd. This is great. Wish I could watch the people right ahead of me, but they'll have VODs.
Entry number 26 in the Journeyman class. Gender-bent Crystal Exarch from Final Fantasy XIV. Promise you'll take me on your next adventure, a journey together.
And so like all those nerves are building up, but as soon as you walk out and the people are cheering for you, it just like vanishes. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like their energy like seeps into you, and then you just get like a silent confidence as you're on stage presenting your costume. And then you feel really good. You're on like a some type of high, but would it say emotional high? I'm not sure. There's some type of high. It's just like, oh, that's cool. They liked me. No one ever boos, but it was like, no one booed me. Everyone was cheering, maybe because they liked the character. And then it's just like, okay, I get to sit here, relax, and now I'm impatient. Who won? Hurry up.
I was just excited to see who won, to be honest. Like, I was just like hoping for like my friends more, because I was like, I know how my judging went. I know how my judging went. I wasn't too hopeful, but like I was like, I still had fun.
I made some friends, and my kid did not fall off the stage, run off the stage, fall on the judges' table off the stage, cry, not come out, take off her clothes on stage, take off her clothes during judging. You know, she just likes to like, I'm done with this. Like, she was awesome. So, you know what? I think she did an amazing first time on stage. She had no stage fright. She only has positive memories from it. So I'm happy.
But then as they're calling people forward, it's just like we had to silently clap. We were just like, because if we clapped too loud, they could hear us in the back. Because they had to pull people who won to the other side of the backstage. That way when their names were called, they don't have to run through the hallway to get up there. So.
So like silence class. Can I get Teen Titans?
It was a little weird because it was the very, very first time that I've never been called. Ever. I wasn't terribly worried about it. Like, if I were really trying hard to win, I would have brought a piece like Suki that I had just shown at Crown. I only had fabrics. So overall, I had already felt a lot of peace being done with our performance and then her being whisked off to the pool. So then I just got to enjoy it. The point of it was to have Vivi on stage, and that happened, and it went well.
After I wasn't like disappointed or anything, I was just like thinking like I could definitely like do more upgrades on him, enter him again if I wanted to.
And then it's just like, oh man, I didn't win. But then it's just like, you know what? I know what I can improve on. I can recompete with this costume. I don't have to make a whole nother costume in less than 2 months for the next con, which is awesome. So yeah. And then of course, like the people you were cheering for and you see that they won, it's exciting. It's just like, they were awesome, they deserved it. I'm happy for them. That's what cosplay contests are all about, like really just cheering on for your fellow competitors and hyping them up. We're all excited to be there, and then you can go up and talk to anyone. They'll be more than happy to talk to you. Competing is kind of like nerve-wracking because you're going on a stage in front of a bunch of people and you don't know how they're going to react to you. But people are just hype. They might not know where you're from, but they're going to be hyped. They're going to scream and cheer for you. It happens every time. It's hilarious. I love it. Complete strangers will be screaming for you and saying how awesome you are. And then you'll become friends on Instagram or something. I don't know. That's how it works.
Do it because like I don't know. It's a fun experience. Like it is. I think it's really fun to do. So like I don't see anything like to be very, very scared of. Like the judges are the scariest part. I think maybe going in front of the crowd, but like that's also like 30 seconds you'll be in front of them. So like the scariest part's the judges, and they're always super nice. So like just do it. Yeah. Just do it. Oh my God.
The reason I like doing masquerades is because it can be exhilarating. It's really fun to hang out with people who are also there for the crafting. And it doesn't necessarily matter if you win or not, if you can set that aside and have fun making something that you really love. And you won't get that if you keep waiting and waiting and waiting until you have something that's good enough. That's the point of novice. If you've never done it before, that's the point of novice, is to get your toe in and to get the jitters out and know that the competition is going to be pretty much horrible, but that doesn't matter because there's going to be a bunch of people feeling the same way that you do, and you'll find friends that way. So find those people, sign up and find those people, and try to have fun as much as you can because it can be very fun.